Hey, and welcome. Welcome to this new platform. I found a little setup outside today and it is on. I'm loving the sound of this water as we step into this flow of circulation, this flow of let's imagine together. I decided no better place to film today than outside here in Alaska, where it is beautiful and the water is the sound of the music. Ooh, yes. Episode 4 today is called Chasing Rainbows. Yes, and I'm outside to do just that. No, I'm just playing. As we dive into today's talk, I just want to tell everybody once again, thank you. Thank you to the newcomers. Thank you for those of you who have maybe followed me since the first video. This is our time together, and I truly feel like there's something about nature that just brings this essence of peace and serenity that I really want to incorporate into today's video. So, chasing rainbows, where did this come from? Well, I feel like there's a few things that kind of inspired this talk today. My questions for you to think on as we're diving right on in. Have you ever felt like the harder you search for something, the harder it is to find? I don't care if it's your car keys, maybe something a little bit more deep than that, a little bit more spiritual than that, but I've had that feeling many times that the harder I go looking for something in my life, the harder it is to find. So that's something we're going to kind of think about and address today. Another question, have you heard that phrase before? If you love something, let it go. You probably heard it, and they tell you that as you've grown up and you got broken hearts. If you love something, just be ready to let it go. I believe those things are going to come into today's talk. So as I really jump right on in, I want to talk a little bit about the purpose. I have people that I feel like are just now joining, people who have been joining, and this is an opportunity that I feel like I'm getting a chance to pay it forward. It's my chance to take this gift of time, this gift of knowledge, this gift of positivity and intellect that I have accumulated over my entire life and passing it on to the next person, hoping that you will step into that circulation and pass it on to the next as well. There are activities that we're doing at the end of each video that we're hopefully doing for 15 minutes a week, and that is another chance that I'm asking that you will give me the gift of your time. Give me the gift of your time and your efforts, and I promise it will pay back off. Because yes, I'm asking for the time, but really, boo-boo, it's for you. I promise you there's a method to the madness. So yes, this is my opportunity to just talk on some spiritual, juicy concepts that really get my brain ticking. But aside from that, I just remember that it's really important to remind people all I'm asking for is one day. It breaks down to 15-minute videos once a week for a year on top of 15 minutes worth of spiritual homework, which is going to be activities to bring these concepts to life. That 15 minutes from me, that 15 minutes for you is 30 minutes a week, which for a year ends up being 24 hours. I'm asking for one day. That's it. So just figured I would remind you what you're getting yourself into. Nothing to overcommit to. This is just a chance to change your life, which is what I'm here for. It's what I'm aiming to do. I'm going to say there's some airplanes flying right on by. We're going to hope that the sound quality stays nice and preserved for the viewers. So as we've talked about that, you guys, this is what made me think of this topic today. This literally happened earlier this week. I had just got off work, and I don't live too far from work. I'm very grateful for that. I'm in my car, I'm driving home, and I'm obsessed with rainbows. Always have been, probably always will be. So when I get to see a rainbow in real life, I'm always trying to capture a picture of it. And of course, now I'm driving. So I'm in my car, and I'm hoping that I can get a nice picture. I'm thinking about, should I pull over? I kind of don't want to pull over because I got things I need to do. And yet, I'm just like, oh, this rainbow is so vibrant. It's so beautiful. So I did my best, don't tell nobody, to kind of take pictures as I was driving. Luckily enough, I ended up coming across a couple of red lights. So with these red lights, I was able to get a little bit of a better picture, but for some reason, just, me having to go and keep my eyes on the road, the pictures kept coming out a little blurry, or I was kept capturing the cars in the picture, and I really just wanted to get that pure essence of that rainbow. So, needless to say, I'm a safe driver, so I put my phone down, there was no more red lights, and I made my turn to where I could no longer see my rainbow. I was kind of almost at home, and I'm still driving, and I'm thinking like, dang, I really should have pulled over and got myself a good picture, because I haven't seen a lot of rainbows this summer, and last summer I saw a whole bunch of rainbows, like a whole bunch. It was a divine sign from God, because I was seeing rainbows every single day, and I haven't seen it as much this summer. So when I saw it, it was really special to me. And so that being said, I end up pulling down that street, and then I've got like one more turn to get down the street that's going to take me to my driveway. And I've kind of let it go at this point. I got a couple of good pictures. I'm grateful for it. And as soon as I pull down that final street that's going to take me to my house, what do you know? This beautiful, just clear, closer than ever picture of this rainbow, perfectly painted to where you can see it from my driveway. And I'm just like, I'm having a little chuckle. And I had this moment where I really had to stop and think. Like, I was searching and I was trying so hard to capture a picture of this rainbow, and I'm chasing this rainbow basically. And then I recognized that the place I was going the whole time, the rainbow was already there. And that just really resonated with me. You go outside, you look for things, and it was already there the whole time. And had I just gone home and trusted the process, I would have got the picture without having to fret and go from here to there to try and make it happen. So that is really what inspired my talk today, chasing rainbows, because I was literally out there about to be doing the same thing. So when I talk about chasing rainbows and really knowing that deep within, like what we're looking for can be found within, that's kind of the heartbeat of where I'm going today. And ties into when you search for something, it seems like you don't find it. You search harder and harder and you can't find it. So why does that happen? I believe that part of the reason that happens is because when we are focused on searching for something, the energy that we're literally like emanating from our bodies, from our focus, from our mind, our souls, is around that looking, that searching, and that chasing. And that is going to carry this whole energy of incompletion. If you're so focused on searching, the law is going to keep giving you opportunities to search. It's not an energy of completion and finding and success. It's an energy of incompletion and ongoing efforts. So that's kind of already what we're putting out there when we're so focused on searching, as opposed to focusing on finding and searching on having and knowing. So aside from that, when I really think about it, it's, are you feeding this ongoing opportunity to search, or are you really feeding to this all I need, I have right here and now mentality and concepts? So that's part of the reason I feel like that happens. I feel like we also carry a certain emotion that really surrounds those searching energies. Like there's a few people who just are searching because they have this exhilaration, they have this need to discover and explore, and that's what's feeding them. But for the most of us, when we feel like we're looking for something and we're so searching so hard and we're chasing something, we end up having this pure feeling and this pure emotion of doubt and worry surrounding that. And I talked about this in magnetism. Whatever your emotions are, whatever feelings that are surrounding you when you have a thought put forth, like that's going to amplify how that shows up in your life or manifests in your life. So when you have this, I'm searching so hard for something, whether if it's a person, or like a person in your life, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, like you're searching for that significant other, or if it's like you're really looking for something physical, or like searching for answers. What should I believe? Which way should I go? You're looking so hard for something. Now you're putting out this energy of doubt and worry versus having faith and going with the flow. Ooh, and this flow of water around me, I'm almost distracted because it's so beautiful today. So that's just kind of another viewpoint that I have when it comes to the feelings, the emotions that are brought up by being so caught in this chasing mentality. It's not working for us, I'm telling you. So another idea that I was thinking about when I was going over this entire concept for today, when we start to chase rainbows, I feel like we kind of start to close our mind's eye, and we therefore can miss the picture that's right in front of us. We start to narrow our perspective, and the answer was there right along, and now we don't see it because we're closing our mind to having such a particular way of thought of how that's going to look and how that picture is going to come forth. So my advice is to step back, because when you step back, you see that big picture and you can see the full rainbow. But if we don't do that, then we can get so lost in chasing, we get so lost in this searching mentality that now we can end up literally at the foot of the rainbow because we've searched so far, and we're there at the rainbow itself, but because we're so close to it and we are so bogged in our minds, we can't see the rainbow anymore. It's when we step back that we can finally see that entire picture of that rainbow. So getting so caught in the searching, you can end up right in front of it and then missing it because you're still searching for what is right in front of you the whole time. It's happened to me, people. I'm speaking from experience. I tell you, let me help you learn from what I've learned, because if you ain't gotta go through it and do it too, then don't. We don't need to chew it twice if we don't need to. I think another thing that I wanted to say on this concept before I started to go into some fun and juicy examples is recognizing that when you can release your predetermined picture of what is going to come, or exactly how it's going to come, or where it's going to come from, then your blessing can come to life in an infinite amount of possibilities. But when we get so rigid, and then so fixed on this box of exactly what's going to come to be, we're not necessarily allowing the possibilities to bring that blessing forth into our life. So take a step back, be open to the possibilities, and recognize that then you don't have to chase the rainbow so much, because you'll start to see rainbows in everything, which is kind of cool, and I like that idea. So a few examples for me. I told you about the recent literal rainbow that I saw in real life that I feel like I was chasing, and then it was at my house waiting for me. Another idea, something I was thinking about, is back in the day when I very first started meditating. It was before I had ever found a center or had access to so much information online to where I could read about it. It was really before that. Yeah, I'm kind of that old, before the internet really popped off. And so I was just doing what felt right. Like, I felt like my body was telling me I needed to meditate. I'd heard the term before. I didn't really know how to do it, so I was just going off of what I felt right. So I'd dim my lights. I'd maybe light some candles. I'd find some really relaxing music, sounding probably similar to what you can hear in the background today. And then I would just focus on clearing my mind and becoming completely at peace with what was going on, and kind of not allowing that chatter to seriously take over that moment of time that I was dedicating to clarity. And that was meditating for me. I am the type of person who likes to do things right, so that was working, but I still felt like I needed some kind of official reinforcement that I was doing it right. So now I kind of started to get on that internet phase as that came along, and I'm starting to go to the library and pick up books, and I'm talking to different spiritual people around town, and now I'm searching everywhere to make sure that I know how to meditate right. I want to do it according to the standards, so I'm over here looking everywhere to find out how to meditate. And it's so funny because I tried on all these different things and tried doing it many different ways, and at the end of the day, it was nice to be able to see different perspectives on how it could be done, but I ended up feeling best with what I was doing in the first place. What innately felt right to me still to this day feels right to me when it comes to meditating. And it's nice to know other information about it, but where I was chasing rainbows, the rainbow was already right there within me. I was the rainbow. I'd already created that space for myself that worked best. Another thing on top of that, it's kind of funny, is more of a figurative way, or more of a literal way, I guess I should say, is I have a crystal. I have one of my favorite crystals. It's actually, and I don't think you'll be able to see how cool it is, but it's kind of quartz. And it's always been one of my favorites. Funny, because I can see rainbows inside of it when I'm looking at it, so that's kind of odd. But I have this crystal. I've had it for a while, and I used to meditate with it all the time. And one day I lost it, and I don't know how I lost it, but it's kind of small, so I'm over here freaking out because it was literally, I have a whole bunch of crystals. It's one of my favorites, and I searched my entire car. I tore up my locker at work. I went through every single purse that I own, and I'm looking everywhere for this crystal, and I was literally not able to find it, and I was really sad about it for a while. And eventually I kind of just let it go, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to find it. I've lost crystals before. I believe if it's not meant for me, maybe the crystal is meant to pass on to a new owner. So I was going to trust in that law of circulation and let it be. And so I kind of brought in a newer crystal. It's my heart-shaped selenite. I absolutely love it. Ooh, yes, you see it. And so I started meditating with this. I used to meditate in the living room a lot, and I started moving my meditations to my bedroom. And as I'm meditating in my bedroom, I kept getting this nudge to go meditate in the living room, and eventually I did, and I took my selenite with me, and that's where I started to do my meditating. And one day at the end of one of my meditations, my little selenite heart like drops into the crevice of the couch, and I'm like, oh no. So I'm trying to rescue it before it's lost, eaten up by the couch. So I'm reaching in there to grab my selenite, and what do I find? I'll let you guess. Sure enough, I find my seed quartz. And I stopped looking for it at this point. I feel like it'd been over a month that it had been lost. And I went to go find this, and I found this too. And it was funny because I felt like it was literally a time where I searched so hard chasing that rainbow, trying to find my quartz, and couldn't find it anywhere. And when I finally let it go and stopped looking for it, I remember thinking like, I'm going to find it. I'm just going to find it. And if it's meant to come back, it will. And sure enough, when I was looking for something else, barely even looking for it because I knew where it was, I found this too. And that to me was just absolutely beautiful. My favorite example is really about the spiritual center that I go to today. There was a while where I was searching for beliefs. I was searching for, I knew my belief system was no longer the same as far as what I believe in God and my beliefs in spirituality. So I was searching for different people, different places, different establishments to help me to anchor in what I should believe. And I found a few places, and nothing felt like home. Like, I'll trust my gut, and I advise you to do the same. Some of what I'm saying to you may make sense and it may resonate. If it doesn't, chuck it. Keep what makes sense. And that's exactly what I've done. And what no longer resonated with me and what no longer made any sense, I kind of didn't keep going to those places, and I didn't keep interacting with those people. And I got to the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm going back within. I'm just going to work from home. I'm going to study up. I'm going to read up. I'm going to keep what makes sense. And I'm going to make my own beliefs based on what resonates with me as a being, as a soul being that knows in every way. And I finally got to a point where I felt like between the law of attraction and how I can, amplify my own experience and control my own experience in many ways, like I started to feel like I got to the gist of what my beliefs were, and I felt grounded in my beliefs finally. And it was shortly thereafter, after a meditation, which is coming up again today, kind of foreshadowing here, I literally just got this hit to get on Google and search for spiritual centers in Anchorage, and that's literally what I looked up. And what do you know, lo and behold, I end up finding and coming across this place. I go there on a Sunday to go check it out, and my mind was blown. It was after I stopped looking and it just came to me out of nowhere. The spiritual center full of people, congregates that were already so established in this philosophy that mirrored everything I had come to believe. This is without them. I didn't know they existed. I didn't know the entire philosophy of what I was believing was already coined under a certain kind of spiritual group. And it was so beautiful to me. I recognized at that moment that I found my rainbow. I recognized that I was the rainbow within the rainbow. And it was so beautiful. And I'm still going there to this day. It's called Alaska Center for Spiritual Livings. And, you know, I would just say that finding that place that already resonates with what you believe, like whatever that is, like that's what's going to serve you for now. And that's what's going to continue to help you to get closer to your goal and expansion as a person. So, you know, I'm grateful for that. And that was me chasing my rainbow and stopping the chase. And then the rainbow came to me and it exploded from inside of me. And it takes me to think about this quote that I came across, and it just made so much sense. This quote was by Gerald Japolsky, if I say it right. And he said, "I wonder why no one told me that the rainbow and the treasure were both within me. I wonder why nobody told me." But now I know. I know I'm the rainbow, and I can continue to see the rainbow in my experience as well. And with that being said, you guys, it's so great to be out here in the nature, feeling the vibes of the earth as I send this love to you. I know that we have all gotten to that point where we're chasing rainbows. Recognize that rainbow is always within, and you can always seek within to find those answers. I look at the world around me. I see God in everything. I see God and love in everything. And I continue to focus on that love because that love knows itself, and that love will continue to bring forth all the answers that we need at any point in time. And that is something to be grateful for. That's something that I know deep within. I know that truth for myself. I know that truth for everybody that I meet because I can hold that truth for them, because that's what we do for each other. We help remember where we are on a spiritual level when we forget on our own level. So I appreciate you guys. This time has been oh so grateful. I'm maxing out, so my affirmation that I wanted to leave you with today is kind of short and sweet. It is, all that I seek and all that I need are found within me. I'm going to say that one more time. And this is something you can say to yourself, you can write down, and just know this truth throughout the week. All that I need and all that I seek are found within me. Oh, that just feels good. It resonates on so many levels. I don't know about you, but that felt good to me. So guys, this week, remember, closing reminders, leave comments, get involved with me. Tell me what you want to hear. You don't want to hear about rainbows? Well, tell me what you might want to hear about. The spiritual practices I'm going to leave you with, you probably guessed it, meditation. If you don't know much about it, create a quiet space, create an ambiance that you like, and stay centered in that love. Clear your mind of anything but love, and just focus on that for 5 minutes a day. Do it 3 times a week. Other than that, if you don't know much about crystals, go to a crystal shop, walk around, and just pick one that feels good. We will go more into depth about crystals in more videos, but pick what feels good because your body knows what it needs. My last thing is a mirror affirmation. Get in the mirror, say that affirmation to yourself a couple times this week, and see what it does for you. You guys, I've asked that you stay blessed and stay